Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have another episode in our Spoiler Spotlight series in which I talk about, well, spoilers and tell you what my thoughts are on them. But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me. And today we're going to be talking about Urgent Necropsy. For 2 colorless, 1 black and 1 green, it's an instant with, as an additional cost to cast this spell, collect evidence X, where X is the total mana value of the permanents this spell targets, and destroy up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, up to 1 target enchantment, and up to 1 target planeswalker. So this is a very difficult card to analyze on the surface, because if you just look at the second line of the card, this seems absolutely incredible. You're going to destroy an artifact, creature, enchantment, and planeswalker for 4 mana at instant speed. That's absolutely amazing, sign me up. There is of course a condition, and the condition is that you are going to need to exile a number of cards from your graveyard with mana value equal to or greater the total amount of mana value of the stuff you're targeting. So this means that this can go from either being very strong to being not that useful in the wrong situation. You obviously want to have this in a deck where you're going to be filling up your graveyard somewhat, or you're at least going to have stuff going to the yard. Now you can collect evidence with any card type. Obviously lands are not really going to work because they all have a mana value of 0, but anything else is fair game. So this actually seems decent, because even if you're not playing a particularly graveyard focused deck, you should still have a couple of things lying around in the graveyard. All you need is a couple of big cards to have hit the graveyard at some point in the game, and this is fairly likely to be able to target a couple of things at least. And if you're exiling 3 things from your graveyard, you should almost always be able to target 3 things from your opponents. I'm assuming that most of the time the planeswalker thing isn't going to matter that much, because in most games of Commander there isn't a planeswalker in play. That being said, it absolutely costs us nothing to have that ability on the card, so it's good to always have the option. So the question has got to be, how likely is it that you're going to have mana value of stuff in your graveyard higher than the mana value of the stuff you want to exile? I think most of the time it's fair to assume that you're going to. So I give this card quite a high rating in that sense. Other people might disagree with me. It's obviously difficult to see until we've actually played with the cards, but I feel like collect evidence isn't going to be that difficult to achieve most of the time. In a normal game of Commander, stuff is going to the graveyard, and this just allows you to reuse them from there. This one varies a bit more than some of the other collect evidence cards, because of course with this one we do have to take into consideration how much the mana value of the things that we're targeting is. Imagine you just have a game where you hit a Soul Ring, a Ristic Study, and a utility creature. That's only 7 mana, and you should fairly easily be able to exile a couple of things from your graveyard that add up to 7 mana. I feel like it's not going to be that difficult, but of course it's not an early game card unless you are actively filling up your graveyard. So this is going to be excellent in any deck that wants to be doing that, any kind of self-mill deck. The slight issue with that is of course that most of these mill decks are going to be focused on creatures or lands, and this is an instant. So you can't, for example, have too many non-creature spells in a Carador deck. The question of course is whether this one makes the cut as compared to other ones. I think this one is strong enough that it should see play in most self-mill decks that are looking to play with their graveyards and put creatures in there. It is unfortunate of course that you can mill this card when you're milling things from your deck, but that is a risk you always run in those kind of strategies. I think the payoff is more than worth it. This is a very flexible removal spell that can be cast at instant speed and allows you a clean 3 for 1 if you can meet the requirements. Super strong. I do wish it wasn't at Mythic, because again this kind of utility card feels like it should be at Rare more than at Mythic, but I do understand that it's a very powerful effect that might be a bit unpleasant in Limited if this was printed at Rare. But yeah, I'm going to be trying out this card in a bunch of different decks, and let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think about this card? Please let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel, and until next time, take care.